Welcome to the Box of Inspirations, the place where you get the best for you and your business from successful people and entrepreneurs.
Hey, it's Michael O'Neill from the Solopreneur Hour podcast. A lot of people have asked the secret to the show's success, and I think it's the reason why a lot of companies have success, a lot of entrepreneurs. It's differentiating factor and brand. First, I decided to do a free-flowing interview show in a sea of formatted or loosely formatted, quote-unquote, training shows where people were kind of learning how to do a specific task. And my goal was, well, let me just talk to someone. Let me find out the person behind the scenes. And so that's what I call a zag. So when the entire industry was zigging, I decided to zag. And I decided to find a little corner where I could differentiate myself. Then I really focused on brand. Now, a lot of people don't realize what a brand is. In fact, they think it's their logo. And often when people think it's their logo, they just get someone to design something kind of cool, and then it's done. The problem is that they haven't really established a good brand. So first, what's a brand? Well, a brand is your promise to your audience. What are you promising them with every single interaction they're making with you? Whether they're looking at your logo or on your website or listening to a podcast or walking into your store as an entrepreneur, what are you promising them? What experience do you want to leave them with? How will they feel after they've interacted with you? That's what a brand is. Then you have to find out, well, who are you promising? Who are the people that are your, your exact focused target customer? Who's your ideal customer? Not your group of customers, not your target audience. You can't say, well, my avatar or my ideal customer is a 25 to 40-year-old female. And the reason why is because you don't talk to a 25-year-old female the same way you talk to a 40-year-old female. They have entirely different lives. So you can't just say, this is my range of people. You have to have a person, a singular, that you can speak to with all of your advertising, all of your messaging. Now, you think, well, what if my target audience is bigger than one person? Great question. Glad you asked. Here's the deal. You look at a company like Red Bull. Now, Red Bull is global. And Red Bull started as an energy drink company, but really they're a lifestyle brand now. And if they were having one of their competitions, let's say the Red Bull Air Race at a local, harbor by your house, and they've got these planes racing around these giant pylons, and it's really exciting. I mean, it's a huge, massive event. I'm sure they'd have huge banners everywhere. They'd have posters all over the town. They'd be really loud. They'd be selling beer and booze and soda and food and running around. It'd be a whole spectacular event. Now, I could go to that event as a 42-year-old guy and probably love it. I'd probably have a blast watching the planes race around and have a giant, soda and a hot dog or something. However, never in the history of Red Bull has my name or age been on their marketing team's whiteboard. They are not talking to me. They are talking to a 19-year-old video gamer who skateboards and drinks energy drinks. That's who their avatar is. That's who their focused target ideal customer is. So that doesn't mean that other people can't enjoy what they do. It just means that when they're talking, they're speaking to a specific person. All right, so now you have your avatar dialed in, and you've got your target market dialed in. Well, then you got to come up with a creative brief. So it's time to focus on your identity. You need to actually show up in the world. So to do that, you write down in one piece of paper, all right, here's my target customer. Here's my avatar. Here's my target audience. This is the range of people that I think will enjoy what I'm selling or what I'm doing. Then you've got to talk about your intention. That's your promise. So my intention is to blah, 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 blah. It is to fulfill their dreams of traveling around the world on a tricycle, whatever it is. And so once you get that all down on a piece of paper, or in this case, a digital form, you can then send that to a designer. And that designer, hopefully they know about brand. And they'll look at what you've done. They'll get the essence of who you are, and they'll design a logo. That will be your first piece of your identity. Now, that is where when someone sees what you do, when someone at a quick glance looks at your logo and its tagline, they should know exactly what they're getting in the first millisecond of interacting with it. So when you look at something like mine that says the Solopreneur Hour with Michael O'Neill, you know, lively conversations with the proudly unemployable. So it'll tell you, it's going to be an hour. It's going to be people that are unemployable, so they're probably on an entrepreneurial mindset. It's going to be great conversations, so maybe less about kind of training. So you get everything that the show does in just a split second. And let the designer design. Be a good client, meaning you give them that creative brief, and then you let them go create. Don't assume that you are now a designer. So anyway, now you go back and forth on the logo. You get a beautiful logo. You love it. And you sell that same designer, okay, now I need an identity. And that designer then says, okay, cool. They design a Facebook header. They design your Twitter logo or Twitter header. Then they do a website for you. Now you have an identity. It's on brand. It tells everyone in the universe exactly what you do. And it focuses on that exact target market and ideal client that you're trying to attract. That is how you have success launching a new business. I'm Michael O'Neill from the Solopreneur Hour. You can find me at solohour.com on all the different social media tools at Solo Hour. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in on today's episode. Head on over to boxofinspirations.com for full recaps and much more.